guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me yet, my name is Sofia and I post videos about minimalism about once a week on this channel. And for this week's video, I have a paper clutter video. This video has been a highly requested video, and in it I will be teaching you how to streamline the paper process for when paper comes in your home and how it goes out of your home, so that you try to not only stay paper clutter free, but also use a lot less paper and hopefully recycle it. So to do this, I'll be dividing paper clutter into 3 different categories, and these are receipts and important papers, sentimental papers, and junk papers that are not worth anything to us. And I'll be showing you how I streamline that in my home, and hopefully it'll inspire you to change the way you deal with paper in your home. At the very end of this video, I have a little section for those of you that simply don't know where to start with the paper clutter you already have in your home. At the end of this video, I'll also be talking about paper clutter for any of you that might have children and like drawings and that type of stuff. Let's get right to it. So the first thing we're going to be looking at today are papers that don't really mean much to us. These, as you can see, are from the local supermarket, so I usually get them in the mail. The second category are things that mean a lot to you. As you can see, there's some postcards and a personal card here. And last but not least, receipts and important papers that you might need again in the future. So we're going to be looking at those like that. So what do we do with those papers that we bring home and will need again? Well, the first thing I do when I come back from shopping or something is I take out all the receipts and I put them on the counter, and I see which ones do I actually need and which ones do I not need. If I don't need it, I'll put it straight into the recycling and it doesn't even move past that point into my home. So the second thing I do is I take those important papers and I ask myself, am I going to need this in the next week or in the near future? So that's the first thing I do. And if the answer is yes, then I'll actually attach it to my fridge. And the reason I do this is that so it's in my way and I will remember to actually take care of it. So for example, if it's a bill I need to pay, then I'll put it up in the fridge and it only comes down once I've actually done it. The second thing I like to do, once I've either done what I had to do or I realize that this paper doesn't need to be on the fridge, is I take the paper and I put it in my little photo album. And this photo album is where I keep all the receipts that I might need again. And I go through it regularly to see if anything is in there that's expired or a warranty that I no longer need. But as you can see, it's a really smooth, easy method to keep everything. That paper there is actually my dog's certificate from his obedience class, but it keeps everything really organized and handy. So I really like using this method, and I would put the receipt in one of these pockets and put it away. When you bring home sentimental papers, what do you do with those? Well, just like I did with the receipts, the first thing I like to do is set them down and see what I want to do with them. It could be that I actually have just been to Paris, for example, and I want to put it up on the fridge to showcase it, in which case I'll do it immediately. It could also be that I don't want to showcase it for whatever reason, in which case I'll take it and I'll put it in my scrapbook. Now, what I do, because I don't have time to scrapbook every day, for example, is I have a little pouch and I put everything in there, and then once every 2 weeks, I will put my scrapbook together, and this way I keep all these papers that I really like. This was for my trip to Disneyland, for example, so I just stick it in here and take care of it when I have more time. What I do with postcards is I have the person sign the back and actually tape it down the side like this, and then I can always read it when I open up my scrapbook. So last but not least, and there's my dog, last but not least, here's what I like to do with useless papers. When I go to the mail, I tend to put everything on this counter, and if in this case, for example, there's a lot of things I don't actually need, I got these on purpose for this video, that's why they're duplicated, I will actually take them and put them straight in my recycling box. One is for paper and the other is for plastic, and I don't even let them come in further into my house. The way you should start decluttering your house from paper is by starting slowly. And I mean, every day set a small goal for yourself. A specific drawer, a tiny amount of paper stacked somewhere, maybe your fridge is cluttered. Start slowly and go slowly every single day so that you don't get overwhelmed. The number 1 rule for me is definitely keep any papers that you need to keep, but keep them in an organized way and preferably digitally. And yes, it might be a hassle to scan all of your papers, but the thing is, most of us have very good quality cameras on our phones, and all you really have to do is take a picture of this document so that you never lose it. So when you're looking at a stack of paper and wondering whether or not you need to keep it, If it's a legal document that you absolutely need, get a folder, label the folder legal documents or important documents, and make sure that you put them in so that they're not loose everywhere. If it's something that you know you need, but you know you might not need the actual hard copy of it, then make sure to take a picture of it, keep it on a folder on your phone. Make sure you back up your phone after you've taken a picture of all of them, or just get rid of the physical copy. And the thing is, if you realize that you actually needed a hard copy of the paper that you just threw out, you can always print it out again after you've taken a picture of it, so it's not a huge deal. Dealing with paper clutter from your kids. I know that your kids may sometimes make you drawings or crafts or things like that. I get them sometimes from my cousins and stuff. My advice to you is take a picture of it and actually throw the copy out. Keep an album of all of these pictures and paintings, and at the end of the year, just use one of those really simple apps and then print your book out, and then it'll be a physical book with digital pictures of the crafts. And this way, any beads or pasta or anything that might be 3D won't be falling out everywhere. It won't take a massive amount of space to store, and you'll still have every single drawing. You can write the date on it, and your kid can still look back on all of these, and they can look over hundreds and hundreds of different paintings they did simply using one book. So that's my advice to you. If you're a student, I know that paper clutter accumulates. My advice to you is just keep folders and really be strict with yourself about what papers you need and what papers you don't. And then again, follow the picture policy. And yes, I know that digital clutter is still clutter, but the reality is that digital clutter is actually a lot easier to deal with than paper clutter, because at any point in time, you can sit down on your computer, on your phone, or anything like that, and look through your pictures and select them, as opposed to having to sit next to piles and piles of paper, which might take a really long time to sort through. And that's it for today, guys. I hope you liked this video. If it was helpful to you or you liked it, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!